Hola mis queridos, ¿cómo estás, mi Alicia? Hello my kittens, how are you? My name is Allison, and today we are playing Murder She Wrote's book 4, Secrets and Ashes. Now, let me talk about a couple of things, actually several things, because there's a lot to cover pretty much before we get into the game. One, Murder She Wrote is actually based off a TV show of the same name, and that TV show has went on for at least 12 seasons. Yucky doodles. You can actually find a good portion of it on Amazon, I believe, and I could be wrong, but I think some of it might be on Netflix. I don't know where you can find all 12 seasons. I don't know. I probably should look into that. Anywho, let me tell you a little bit about Murder She Wrote, of what the show is, and generally what the game is about. It is about basically a murder mystery author. Her name is Jessica Fletcher. She is a murder mystery writer, author, and amateur detective, a widowed and retired English teacher as well. Her married name is McGill, as just to let you all know, since she is a widow. Despite fame and fortune, Jessica remains a resident of Cabot Cove, a small coastal community in Maine, and maintains her links with all of her old friends, never letting her success go to her head. And with that in mind, her community in Maine, Cabot Cove, they actually rely on her in solving mysteries, which is why she is considered as an amateur detective pretty much wherever she goes. She is like our realistic Nancy Drew, which I super love. And I know my opinion doesn't normally matter, but I gotta tell you, well, when you play just as much as Nancy Drew as I have, you gotta respect that. You gotta at least respect that there's a realistic Nancy Drew here. Because the Nancy Drew series, it's not very realistic. It's not. Nancy should not be getting away with all that. Okay, anyway. So, Murder She Wrote the video game only has 5 books, and the reason why I say books is because Murder She Wrote eventually became a book series as well, and the book series actually used Jessica Fletcher as the author name, letting other ghostwriters take the name, making which is helpful for those who are ghostwriters, because it's hard to just stick one author just under a false name, because you would have to depend on them sticking to the same style of how they write and how they write Jessica's books. So with that, they decided to basically stick with the Jessica Fletcher, obviously, and go choose a bunch of different ghostwriters. And of course, the ghostwriters, they don't necessarily have to stay with the same writing style. They just need to make sure that it sounds like Jessica Fletcher from the show, which is fine by me in my opinion. And with that in mind, the game does do a lot of likeness to the show, and I mean that literally, because they were not able to get the actors, and in all honesty, I wish they did, but I respect it. I understand what they did, just because of how well these voice actors do. The voices, I mean. So there's Phoebe Moyer. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that. She does the voice of Jessica Fletcher, and she does that in the likeness of Angela Lansbury, who actually plays Jessica in the show. There's Roger L. Jackson, who does the voice of Sheriff Mort Metzger, who does the likeness of Ron Masick, who actually played the sheriff in the show. And then there's Gavin Hammond, who does the voice of Dr. Seth Hazlitt, which we don't see that often in the game, but he does the likeness of William Wyndham, who also plays the doctor in the show. And then there's an additional character in the game, which is definitely not in the show, because it doesn't show, because in the credits it doesn't say if it's a likeness from the TV show. So I'm assuming there was no Sheriff Ashmont. Andrew Chaikin does the voice of Sheriff Ashmont, and I actually really like Sheriff Ashmont. It's a great addition. I'm actually really glad that Legacy Interactive, which is the company who made the game, I'm really glad they added Sheriff Ashmont. It actually adds a little bit of character to the game, making it their own and not just Murder She Wrote. It actually gives them a little bit of leeway to come up with stories, come up with books of what Jessica would be doing in these stories, in these books. And as I said, there's 5 books in this game, and they're pretty much chapter books according to her journal, according to her notebook. And I will point that out once we're in the game. One thing that I do want to note, within the game I mean, is that in the options, there's only 2 volumes, sound and music. I have to let you all know that sound does not include the acting voices. Does not include the acting voices. The voices are tied to the music, which is why I have the music on low. You'll be able to hear their voices, but if I had the music like up to here, it would be super loud, not just in my ears, but in yours as well. Yikes. And relaxed is actually a thing, relaxed in time mode. I will explain that once we are in the next menu portion of the game. And I actually am sticking to the custom mouse just because off, it looks a little weird. So I am sticking to windowed because it helps me to see everything, make sure everything's recording and all that. And I think that is about it. And so let's go ahead and get into. Oh, sorry, one more thing. As I said, Legacy Interactive made the game, but Focus Multimedia is the company that published their game. And this actually was released in November 12th, 2009, which means this is a really old game. Hence, this bonus games link will take me to an expired website. It will not work. Alright, so let's go ahead and get to the next menu. As I said, there are 5 books. And each title actually has a tie-in to death. I love it. It's a really good method to use the books. It's a good method to create the mysteries and all that. Deadly Catch, and notice the time. Murder in the Maples, notice the time. Garden to Die For, notice the time. Oh man. And Secrets and Ashes, there is no time on it just because, well, I mean, it doesn't really matter if you do time to relax because there is a background ticker in the background that you don't notice. But at the end of the game, it will show you. I won't spoil it. But when you do skip a mini puzzle within a hidden objects, it does add 30 minutes to your total time, which is why A Garden to Die For is a little bit longer than usual. I actually did skip a puzzle because it was so difficult. I think some of you might understand which puzzle I'm talking about. Oh man. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about Secrets and Ashes just a little bit. And I know I'm talking quite a bit, or I should be getting into the game already. But Secrets and Ashes is about Susan Gander and how she disappeared about, I think they said 2-3 years ago, and her brother asked Jessica to kind of look into it, and not to mention make sure that everything's legit and all that, because Vern was able to go through the legality of things and have her claim legally dead, have her legally claimed dead, I think is the term, and her property is being demolished so that it can be donated to the library, create a children's wing, which is nice, but do we really know if that's what she wants? I don't know. There's no one saying if she has a will or not. Ugh, it's frustrating as heck. Oh man. Alright. Sorry, there was no music there for a second. Had a notification. Okay, so, one last thing I do want to note is if anything in this video does not look familiar, it is because you have not been keeping up. Please, please, please check the description box below. There's the previous video as well as the playlist. I recommend the playlist because it will have everything that I've done so far with Murder, She Wrote, Book 4, Secrets and Ashes, and let's go ahead and get into the game. Yes, please. Alright, I'm going to look over the notes real quick, even though I've been talking enough as it is. I do know the previous video we went over chapters 12 and 13 and then started 14, so I'm going to go ahead and read those. Chapter 12, Public Library Reading Room. Well, I had a most interesting meeting with Morris Niederheimer. First of all, I discovered that he smokes ultra golds, and he admitted that the butts in the ashtray at Susan's house were indeed his. Apparently, they had argued the night before she disappeared because she was having doubts about their wedding. Then Morris produced a copy of a letter that Susan had written to William Forrest in which she attempted to blackmail William. Yeah, in one of the previous chapters, we found her body. She was murdered. Where is it? Where's the chapter where she says it was unfortunate? My worst fears. There it is. Susan's remains were inside along with the suitcase, purse, and keys. Yeah, whoever killed her made it look like that she had left town, which is why everyone was saying that she just disappeared. Okay, so she had learned that William was bribing city officials and wanted to use that information to double their agreed upon price for her home. He didn't reveal the letter sooner for fear that William would come after him next, which doesn't make sense unless she actually mentioned Morris by name in the letter, which I doubt. She did say that someone had an extra copy of the blackmail letter, but I doubt she would tell William who it was, because otherwise he would have gone to him much sooner. Right? Chapter 13. Not surprisingly, William denied any wrongdoing. He insisted that the money he gave to the city official was a gift and that Susan had simply misunderstood the situation. He claimed that he's the one who canceled the sale because he refused to be blackmailed into paying Susan's inflated price. Judging by the model of the condominiums he had planned to build on Susan's lot, I can see just how much he had invested in the projects before the deal fell through. Was he angry enough to kill her? Vern informed me that both William and Chris made him offers to buy Susan's home after she was declared legally dead. He emphasized how valuable the property itself is, as well as the building materials inside the home. I feel the need to check on the house to be sure it hasn't been disturbed. Yeah, I think there was some sort of glassware collection that William had that made us suspicious. Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it.
The front door was unlocked.
Interesting.
It's not like the sheriff to leave a crime scene unsecured.
Right.
I'd best call him. I think someone else may have been here last night.
Possibly. Alright, so this is what makes the game a bit unique to the other hidden objects. With Jessica being an author, she actually prefers using a typewriter than a freaking computer, which I super love. I haven't seen a typewriter like that in ages, other than in this game. At least in person. So anyway, I believe this is the hint meter, of course. As you can see, there is another thing you can find, which is this thing right here. It's also a hint that you can click on in case you end up using that hint and it is too slow for it to load, in case you need an extra one like immediately and you're just absolutely stumped. What is the handprint doing there? Oh man, okay. Footprint, handprint. Oh, come on, there's a handprint. There's a handprint. I am running low on I see one. I'm not finding any more. Come on. This is unfortunate. Okay, well, while I am trying to find all this stuff, this is frustrating. I might as well tell you all that there is an antique dealer in this game, and I want to point out to you all that not all antique dealers are fond of their shops being called antique stores or antique shops. Uh, in fact, some might prefer their shops to be called antique galleries. To so if ever you're near if ever you're near an antique dealer or talking to an antique dealer, please call them antique galleries just to be respectful. Of course, if they correct you to say that it's not a gallery and it's a shop or a store or anything like that, to say, okay, I'll do that. Um, Also, they might not like being called antique dealer either. Um, they definitely will not like it if you call them treasure hunters or uh, uh, antique collectors. There is another term that you can use, which is antiquarian. Very, very unique. I love that. There it is. All right.
What do you see, Sheriff?
There's some fresh damage here by the fireplace, like someone hastily used some tools to remove something.
There's only one person I know with an interest in getting as much out of this house as possible before it's demolished. Chris Lamar.
Yep.
Let's head over to the antique shop now.
What brings you two back?
How long have you been plundering items out of Susan's empty house?
Oops.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Liar.
Susan's collection of antique crystal is missing. And those tiles you have here, they're identical to the ones missing from around Susan's fireplace.
Oh boy.
All right, you win. I've been taking stuff out of the house and selling it to keep the shop afloat. No one's lived there for 2 years now. Why should valuable materials just sit there to rot?
You have to wait for the city to approve it. Come on,
Is
man.
that how you came by the candlestick you sold to William Forrest?
No, I found the bill of sale from when I purchased the set a year ago.
According to the document, you bought the candlesticks from Morris Niederhammer, along with several other
But
items.
Do you still have the other candlestick from the set?
I don't remember selling it to anyone, so it must be around here somewhere.
good. Let's find it. Now let's find the other letters too. There's no achievements within the game, but it's still nice to try to collect all of the letters. And again, I think there might be, like I said, there are no achievements, but it does. I'm not going to spoil it, but you can try to collect all of the hint things that are shown within the hidden objects. You don't have to, but at the end of the game, you'll understand why I'm saying you can. Matching candlestick. Ping pong paddle. Ducky. Dartboard. There we go. Fan. Tribal mask. Where's the freaking ping pong battle? Find the key to open this cabinet. Okay. Oh, there's the ping pong battle. There's the handle. I guess we go here. Oh, yep, there's the key. First let's find everything else. Teddy bear. There's a camera? Where? Oh, there's a camera. And cheese grater. Where's there a cheese grater? Oh, there it is. Alright, now let's find the matching candlestick. Alright, select the cabinet door to reveal the candlestick inside. Locate pairs of identical candlesticks to clear them. Alright, so you can use a hint. It doesn't really waste anything. It doesn't really count, I think, as part of the game. And you can click solve later and it will take you back to the hidden objects, which is nice in case you want to finish the hidden objects part. And using the skip button will actually skip the entire puzzle, and it will add 30 minutes to your total time in whether you're doing timed or relaxed play of it. Nope. Oh. There we go. There we go. That was frustrating. Alright. Okay. I kinda need to pick the... Oh, there's the one that we've been looking for. And I can't help you but find what you're looking for. There you go. Oh. There's that. Here we go. Alright. Yoink. That's the other candlestick from Susan's house. It matches the one William had. Yep, it certainly does. And it looks like the middle's turn.
We'll need to take that candlestick for our investigation, Mr. Lamar.
Go ahead.
I have a feeling that either this candlestick or the one William had may be the weapon used to murder Susan.
Or it could contain the treasure.
I'll bring both down to the station to have them check for traces.
Once we know for sure, I promise to let Vern know.
Right? Okay, so what chapter are we on now? 16? Okay, let's go ahead and get this hidden objects done quickly, because this pretty much is the last chapter for the video.
Vern, do you have a moment?
I'm sorry, Jessica, but Jack Delgado has an emergency on his hands and needs all the saws I can pull together.
Yikes.
Something about some trees down by the school?
Aw,
Let me lend you a hand with that.
definitely. Alright, first the letters. By the way, if any of you are wondering if I am going to play Among Us, no thank you. No thank you, am I going to join that mess. It does look fun, it really does. But after watching so many channels play it, I don't want to be a part of that mess. So many people are just the game is definitely a relationship ruiner, friendship ruiner. Where the heck? There's one. And where's the last hint that I can use? There we go.
We have news, Vern. We found the murder weapon that killed your sister.
You have? What was it?
This antique silver candlestick we found for sale in Chris Lamar's shop. There was a trace of Susan's blood on the base.
How about fingerprints?
The candlestick has been handled so many times by Chris and customers examining it that it was impossible to tell if it ever had the murderer's fingerprints on it.
I'm telling you, it's Morse.
Hold on. Do you still have that candlestick?
Sure.
There's a tricky way to open them up. Supposed to
thought
be
so.
for easy cleaning. Maybe there's something inside.
Where to go? Ah! I think the hint actually tells us.
Vern, you told me earlier that Susan
What the
smoked
heck was that?
Westminsters?
I wasn't paying attention.
That's right.
Then the person who smoked the Ultra Golds is likely her murderer.
Well, duh. Alright. It's... Yeah, no. I'm telling you, it is Morris. Who else? He's the one that sold the candlesticks to the guy at the antique gallery. Are you serious? Alright, we're basically done. Let's... Oh, nope, that's the notes. Let's go to the menu, save and exit. Okay, so... Do you... Are you saying what I'm... Do you understand my thought process here? Morris is the one that sold him the candlesticks. What better way to get rid of the fingerprints but to sell it to a store where everyone's going to be handling the candlesticks? Everyone's going to be touching them. Oh my gosh, it's a freaking genius move. It's a shame though, because the one who sells it is most likely the murderer. Hello, Morris. Confession. He pretty much confessed. I'm telling you. He pretty much confessed it with giving us that letter. Ah, it's so frustrating. Just arrest him already. It is Morris. What more evidence do you need? What more evidence do you need? Because I want to look at that letter that Susan wrote. I seriously do. I doubt she wrote Morse's name on there. No way. And now that I think of it, I don't think it was Susan who wrote the letter. I think that's what the argument was about. I think it was about the blackmail letter. I think that's what Morse and Susan were arguing that night. It was about the blackmail letter, saying that I didn't want you to send that letter to William, and that letter was probably in Morse's handwriting and not Susan's. Oh my freaking gosh. This makes so much sense! Alright. We're pretty much at the end of the video. I'm gonna go ahead and call it here, everyone. I love you all so much, my beautiful kittens and viewers. I hope I helped you out at least a little bit in this video. If not, I'm not doing my job. And I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did. Oh my freaking gosh. If so, smash that like button like a kitten would. And if you're just now tuning into this channel and you're not subscribed, go ahead and click that ugly red subscribe button. Make it that beautiful gray, as well as that bell icon right next to it. That'll notify you of all the videos that I do, which are on Wednesdays 6 p.m. Central and Sundays 4:30 p.m. Central. I hope you all have a great morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you are in the world. I am Sweet Recipe Rabbit, saying goodbye. Stay awesome and stay on YouTube! Wow. All that realization. I cannot believe I didn't think of all that stuff until now.